right now we are going to jump on over to the main stage, and this is the World of Warcraft Dungeons and Raids panel.
The concept of challenge
Corey
modes
Stockton
is
on
to give
stage.
people something else to do in these dungeons. We've got so many awesome dungeons, and there's lots of different ways to play them, but some people are looking for a greater challenge in them. Maybe they want to try to do something different. And so we're just looking to give players an opportunity of a different thing to do. And it works great to do it within the dungeons because we have so much content there to come up with a new mode for players to play them in. Essentially, what a challenge mode is doing a dungeon on a timed run. So similar to the runs we used to have back in the day, where people could go in and do a timed run specifically on a Stratholme is a great example of the 45-minute Baron run, something like that. But we wanted to take that and just turn that into a whole entire mode where that's what the whole concept is. So you're going to be able to go into a dungeon, timer starts, and then see how quick you can finish it. And then we'll have specific times set up that would give you a bronze, silver, and a gold medal. And depending on how quick you can finish it, you can earn that medal. And that would work for all the dungeons across the board. We're liking to do as many as we can. We're going to obviously start with Pandaria, and then if there's dungeons that it would work, obviously Skullomance could be one that this could work with, or Scarlet Monastery. But we're going to start with the Pandaria dungeons. So it really gives people something they could do with their guildies, they could do it with friends, but we also want to have it work through the Dungeon Finder tool. So we're looking into just having an option to queue specifically for challenge mode, and you would only queue in with other people that want to do this mode. Another huge note about challenge mode is that we're using normalized gear. It's a huge deal here. So essentially everyone that's in here is going to have the exact same item level of their gear. So it really means that it's a skill-based exercise and not just based on how good your gear is. And it's really great because it means this content's going to last for so much longer because we can normalize that gear. So later on, you might have some raid gear and come back and try to do a dungeon and think you're going to blow it out of the water, but you're actually going to be on the exact same playing field as another guy who might just have, heroic gear rather than raid gear. Now what we're talking about for the rewards for this is really, really awesome looking gear that you can use for transmog. Obviously we're saying you're going to get Valor for doing this. Like part of our philosophy is that people should be able to do whatever they want to advance their character. So you'll be able to do challenge modes if you like that and still earn Valor. But we really love the idea of getting unique art for this that you can show off. A big part of this is bragging rights and leaderboards. So, if you can only get that gear here, you can transmog your tier 14 shoulders into the gear that you got specifically out of challenge mode. Now, like I mentioned, leaderboards will be a huge part of this. The concept that you could take, your time and compare it against your BattleNet friends list, or you could take your time and compare it specifically against your guildies, and find out who got through which dungeon the fastest, what medals have you earned. There's a number of ways that you can compare to other people. You can look at their gear and know right away if they've been able to get the gold medal in this specific dungeon. So we've got a couple mock-ups of what the UI is going to look like for this. So on the left there, you can see the challenges screen, and you can see the gold, silvers, and bronze medals that a guy has gotten. You can see what his best time is in a dungeon. You can see who he ran it with. There's a lot of different things of information you can get out of this one screen. On the right side, that's a leaderboard. So you can imagine that being in the guild system where you have the drop down and you can pick to compare by achievement points or by different things, by your guild XP. There's going to be an option to compare by challenge mode. And then you can see, who's gone up in the leaderboard. That's what the little green arrow is. And you can see the gold medal or the silver medal that they earned for that specific run. This is a look at what would happen when you finish the dungeon. Same thing in the roster. If you click one specific guy, you could see, what has he done? What is his profile? Kind of just like looking at inspecting someone and finding out, what's the fastest time they've got? What dungeon are they the best at? And then maybe you guys could decide that you want to get together and run another dungeon the same way. This is just a mock-up of one of the big things about this is when you succeed really well, we really want you to feel awesome. So the guys mocked up something like this, imagine you win, you get an awesome background sound, and you get this super cool screen telling you that you just did, you got the gold medal, you beat this dungeon as much as you can, now take this group and maybe try to hit another dungeon and see if you can get that gold medal somewhere else. And next up, raids.
All right, so raids in Mists of Pandaria. We're going to have 3 of them. We really liked how the Cataclysm raids on ship worked, where you had 2 raids of around 5 to 6 bosses and a third one with a couple bosses. It really, we got multiple end bosses out of that. We got, multiple times during a week you would get that really nice, exhilarating feeling of, yeah, I beat this entire raid. So we really like that, and we're going to go with that kind of philosophy again. The raids are going to feature predominantly 2 of our new enemy races, the Mogu and the Mantid. And we have some screenshots of what they're going to look like. Oh, in a little bit. And also, all of these raids are going to have Raid Finder, Normal, and Heroic difficulties. We'll talk about Raid Finder a little bit more in depth, but Raid Finder is the new difficulty that we're adding in 4.3 for Dragon Soul. It will be in every single raid in Mist of Pandaria as well. So here's one of the Mantid. This is an early look at what they might look like. And again, there will be different types of Mantid. We're talking about Mantids with wings, much larger Mantid that would act as tanks. And then we have a look at the Mogu. These really huge, beefy guys, but also very mystical. They're a very magical race. So the first raid we're going to look at here would be Mogushan Palace. It's located at the top Kunlai summits, which is in the center of Pandaria, and it's our 6th boss raid. And inside that, you'll actually go in and explore the hidden secrets of the ancient Mogu Empire. Mogushan Palace has actually been locked away. Most of its secrets, even the Pandarians, don't go into this place. It's all been locked away. The Mogu have, the Mogu Empire was actually before the Pandarian Empire. It's very ancient, lots of old secrets. You'll go in there and discover all of them. So here we'll show you a layout that's actually already changed. We're iterating all the time, folks. So you can see this is actually a boss. This is a layout that actually has 5 bosses. You would start on the right, head over to the left, go down. And while we don't have like a really cool video to show because it's still in production, we do have some awesome concepts to show off for you. This is one of the rooms where you go along. This is actually, we'll have a boss probably in front of this right here. This is this crazy library where these huge scrolls are along the wall, with ancient Mogu scripts. You can see over in the far bottom right corner, you can actually see like the scale of what you would look like. So this place is huge. I have this another like beautiful concept of this entryway, this grand entrance into the temple, and it's just gorgeous. We're really looking forward to spawning, making creatures for this, really giving you guys a lot of fun with the raids.